So today's the day we salute Eric Duhaime, leader of the Conservative Party of Quebec, for what he just did. He is on the line. Eric, thank you for coming back.
Always a pleasure.
So listen, I said when we started the show and I read about the letter and everything else, I said, I bet every opposition leader in Quebec City today wishes they would have done what you did, only you did it first.
Maybe, but hopefully it's not the fact that it's me who's sending it or not. It's what's the impact. What's going to happen is, are we going to pay yes or no $5 to $7 million for hockey games, off-season hockey games in Quebec City, while everybody else is not paying? Or is that nonsense going to keep going? I mean, we need to find all the means to make sure it doesn't happen.
Well, okay, it's going to happen though, right? The money's been spent, it's been allotted, it's going to the LA Kings. So what are the chances of it coming back? How would that even happen?
Well, I think the LA Kings, it's a great organization that has a very good reputation. For them, $5 million or $7 million, it's not the end of the world. They're billionaires. They could, for example, say, okay, we understood the message of the Quebec population. We'll give it to food banks in Quebec, or there's all sorts of things we can do to make sure that everybody comes out winning with that situation. But it cannot be the fact that the money is going to end up in a hockey team that is already billionaire and is American. That nonsense needs to stop.
I know you posted your letter in French. I have an English translation of it here. For people who don't know, I want to read some of this and we'll come back and I'll ask you to just comment on a couple of parts. You wrote this to Luc Robitaille. He is the president of the LA Kings. He's the guy who was shaking hands with Eric Girard when Eric Girard proudly announced we're going to waste $7 million to bring hockey to Quebec City. You wrote, Monsieur Robitaille, on November 14th, 2023, you were at the Centre Videotron with ministers Eric Girard and Jonathan Julien to announce that the Kings would be playing 2 off-season games in Quebec City next fall. These 2 ministers of the Legault government declared that a subsidy of $5 to $7 million of taxpayers' money would be given to your hockey team, the Los Angeles Kings. Yesterday, we learned the same Kings team just signed a deal to play off-season games in Salt Lake City for the next few years without, and you wrote capital, without any public funding from either the state or Utah or Salt Lake City. It was enough to set off waves of indignation across Quebec. You wrote, 1 Quebecer in 10 has to rely on food banks to feed their family. With the increase in interest rates, 1 homeowner in 4 worries about how they will pay their mortgage and fear they will lose their home. The vast majority of Quebecers are hit hard by the stupendous increase of the cost of living. The Legault government has warned us of a big deficit in the next budget announced for March 12th, therefore a budget financed on the back of the next generation. In these circumstances, you can certainly understand that the people of Quebec don't easily swallow the government's decision to subsidize your team. The Legault government, however, refuses to give way. In the current context, for the good of Quebec and for the excellent reputation of the team over which you preside, I ask that you refuse the financial assistance the Legault government has offered. Refusing this money will turn fans' attention to the game itself and away from the politics. The Kings form a billionaire organization, and the $5 to $7 million are a small part of the revenue on your team, While in Quebec, this subsidy epitomizes the government's mismanagement of public funds, which would risk tainting your reputation and uselessly dragging you into a political debate which you would be better off avoiding. In due hope that my proposal to resolve this crisis finds an open ear, Mr. Robitaille, please receive my best regards. Signed, Eric Duhaime, leader of the Conservative Party of Quebec. So, that's a great letter. I am sure there are some people out there like me who think this is wonderful because someone should have done this, and congratulations, as I said off the top, for being the first person to consider doing this. Some people, though, Eric, you know what's going to happen. Some people simply say you're showboating here because there's zero chance that money is coming back. What do you say to them?
Well, if we don't try, obviously it's not going to come back, but we need to do something. I've never seen something that is so unanimous among the population. I don't know, 95, 99% of Quebecers think it makes no sense right now. We need to find a way out, and this is one of the way out. We'll see what the team is going to answer back, what Luc Robitaille is going to answer back. I know that he read the letter. He didn't answer me yet, but hopefully it's going to happen within the next few hours.
Now, you say you know he read the letter? How do you know that?
But because we have a common friend who told me that he told him he read it.
Okay.
But I don't know more.
So you're waiting to hear back from Luc Robitaille. I think most people think that's simply never going to happen, but maybe we get lucky and maybe he does. What's the reaction been so far from other people that you've heard from? Because I know there's been a lot of reaction.
It's not just conservatives, actually. It's people from all over the spectrum. Everybody is saying that it makes no sense. And I've got a lot of support, a lot of people saying that they're sending emails also to the organization, to the Quebec government, because on top of that, you have to recall, even the money that is spent there came from a special fund that was not supposed to be going to a hockey team at all. It's for regional development in Quebec City. They bypassed all the rules. It's supposed to be small amount of money for local businesses. I mean, everything is wrong with that file. And I understand that it's not the Los Angeles Kings' fault, obviously. Luc Robitaille, he got a check of $5 or $7 million without even needing it. He didn't say no, but it's not him who's supposed to be responsible of Quebec taxpayers' money. But on the other hand, it's the Quebec government also that doesn't understand the message. And if he doesn't understand it, we have to find new ways to make sure he understands. And I also hear people saying, "Oh, Eric, it's $5 million, $7 million. It's not a lot of money." And it's true if you look at the general budget of the Quebec government. But you have to remember that this is very symbolic. I mean, if we're sending $5 to $7 million to a hockey team like that, what signal are we sending on the eve of the budget that's going to present a very large deficit, as already announced by Premier Legault? It's becoming a symbol of the mismanagement and the incompetence of our current government in Quebec City.
Some people might say that this is, and I think the government probably used this line to say it's an investment, right? We know Quebec City wants to get an NHL team. This is a way to encourage the NHL or make them aware of the fact that we're going to try harder. That would have been a great argument to make before we found out Salt Lake City is doing the same thing for free.
Exactly, because Salt Lake City is also a city that is looking for an NHL team. And, Quebecers in Quebec City, they've done a lot of demonstration that they're ready to get an NHL team. I mean, we have one of the best fan base of all teams, of all markets in North America. We've built with taxpayers' money an arena of $400 million that is NHL ready right now, and it's been empty without a team for a decade. I mean, we're more than ready to get a team. We don't need to have a more demonstration that we're ready to get a team. And also, as you recall, the Montreal Canadiens last November said that they were ready also to come to playoff season games in Quebec City for free. It's not just the Kings that are going to Salt Lake City for free. It's like that all over America. Even in Halifax, they got the Penguins Pittsburgh. Who went also for free. I mean, it's happening all the time everywhere, but it's the first time that we see subsidies for the millionaires of hockey.
Yeah, it's to your point. It's in Quebec. It's why should we get something for free when we can spend $7 million for it? That's what it comes down to.
Be the motto of the government right now.
By the way, I should point. I would ask the question. By the way, have you heard anything from anybody in the CAQ about the letter?
No. The minister, Pierre Fitzgibbon, came out and answered on the letter. He said that he understands that the means might not be the best ones to promote the team, but at least they're trying to get the Nordiques back in Quebec City, and that's the way they found. People could agree or disagree. Obviously, we disagree, and he agrees. But that it's one of the means that they thought would be useful. He also confessed that because Mr. Girard is responsible for the Quebec Nordiques within cabinet, and Pierre Fitzgibbon is responsible for the Expos. Up to now, they've not been very successful on either side, and there's something kind of ridiculous also to have ministers who are dedicated to files like the return of the Montreal Expos or the return of the Quebec Nordiques. I mean, we have serious business going on in Quebec. Our healthcare system is broken. Our education system is a mess. Our deficit is huge. Our taxes are the highest in America.
We know.
I mean, we have other things to do than make people dream about the return of a team that might never come back.
I have to wrap up. I will tell you, someone just texted in saying, Aaron, can you please ask Eric to write a letter about the Olympic Stadium roof next?
It's a good point, actually. We need to do something about that because spending $870 million, it makes no sense neither.
I'd love to hear when Luc Robitaille responds to you, or if you hear anything else, let us know. Eric, thank you so much for the time this afternoon.
Always a pleasure. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Take good care. Eric Duhaime, leader of the Conservative Party of Quebec, asking nicely, please, for the LA Kings to return the $7 million Quebec gave them.